Hello, my name is Milan Sharma, and I have some very, very interesting news to share with you today. So, we all know that, first of all, let me just get this out right away. We all know that Trump is a conservative. He supported partial birth abortion, but social issues aside, he's up and down with the minimum wage. He supported a single payer system. I mean, the list goes on and on. I can go on and on. I don't want to do that because I want to focus on something that's very, very. Planned Parenthood. He doesn't want to defund Planned Parenthood either. So, with that said, an article according to The Hill, November 17th, written by Melanie Zanona and Vicky Needham. The GOP braces for Trump's $1 trillion infrastructure push. So I'm just going to read. I'll put the link below for you guys to look at it in depth. So Republicans in Congress appear ready to embrace President-elect Trump's $1 trillion infrastructure proposal, at least for now. But even the most optimistic lawmakers caution that conservative support for this plan will hinge on the details. So according to Senator John Thune, a Republican from San Diego, there's an interest among our members, frankly, on both sides in doing something on infrastructure. He's the chairman of Commerce, Science, and Transportation Committee, he told reporters. But he said, quote, but my guess if that gets done, it's probably hitches a ride on tax reform. I don't know that just an infrastructure bill on its own as a standalone would go anywhere. So he's basically saying that if there isn't tax cuts for wealthy people, the top 1%, that this bill won't get passed. It's unclear what Trump's final proposal will look like. He has called for $550 billion worth in infrastructure investment paid by bonds, as well as $1 trillion package finance by offering tax to private investors. Okay, so this is just very hypocritical because this is a progressive stance. Because I'm in favor of infrastructure. America ranks one of the worst in developed countries in rebuilding our infrastructure. There's been the pipelines have been leaking. What you've seen in Flint, Michigan, contaminated waters, hundreds of year old bridges. All of these things, we need a reformed infrastructure. And researchers have shown, and studies have shown in the past that investing in infrastructure will create tens of millions of jobs, and our economy would do better. You see China, they have a fantastic infrastructure, and look at how their economy is doing. Well, I mean, you can argue that they get paid hardly anything, but overall, statistics show that with a greater and better infrastructure, your economy does better. You move along quicker. You go to your job. You come back home earlier. You go out to eat, etc. So it says here, buzz was growing Wednesday that Trump's economic advisor is now looking at establishing a national infrastructure bank, an idea long favored by Democrats that has gone nowhere under the Republican-led Congress. So Trump's Democratic opponent Hillary Clinton included such a bank in her infrastructure plan. So this just shows how partisan our politics is nowadays, how divided we are. When Hillary Clinton wants to propose it, or even when Obama wants to propose it, it would never pass, no matter what. A jobs bill would never pass under Obama, it would never pass under Clinton. We all know that. But if Trump proposes it, all of a sudden they're excited to work with him. They're excited to embrace his ideas. So this is very, very interesting. Again, this is according to The Hill. So, again, right here, the Obama administration frequently pressed Congress to act on infrastructure spending. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce and the AFL-CIO came together 5 years ago with lawmakers to propose an infrastructure bank, which would have provided low-interest loans and other financial assistance to encourage investors to back national infrastructure projects. And not surprisingly, Republicans blocked a $447 billion infrastructure package in 2011 from President Obama because of its massive price tag, despite the support from business and labor. So Republicans claim to be pro-business, but they're only pro-business when it helps their wallet. Okay? They're pro-business for cutting regulations in oil industries and banks because where do they get their paychecks from? The Koch brothers, who own oil industries, from big banks. There's Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Wells Fargo. The list goes on and on. But when Obama wants to do a $447 billion infrastructure bill in 2011, they don't want to do that. But when Trump's proposing a $500 billion, $1 trillion plan, but $500 billion will be invested in the infrastructure, they want to embrace it. So it just shows the hypocrisy in the Republican Party. And like my theory was earlier that progressive issues could get past a Republican-led Congress if Trump became president, but there'd be a 0% chance of any progressive thing getting passed under a Clinton presidency. So again, a representative from Pennsylvania, Lou Barletta, it's music to my ears, who's the chairman of Transportation and Infrastructure Subcommittee and member of Trump's transition team. Quote, there's nothing better for this country in getting back to a robust infrastructure agenda. So then why weren't you saying that when Obama was president? So again, this partisan divide. Obama, which I don't agree with, made George W. Bush's tax cuts permanent. Okay? And what did he get in return? Nothing. He tried to make a compromise, and this is why you cannot compromise with Republicans, because this is what happens. Democrats tried compromising. He tried doing Bush tax cuts. Didn't work. They didn't do anything. Bill Clinton, he deregulated Wall Street, the crime bill, telecommunications, supported the death penalty, welfare reform, which basically meant gutting welfare, and yeah, basically that's what that is. And they still hate the Clintons. So, oh, and not to forget, one of the biggest biggest legislation pieces passed by Bill Clinton that costs 5 million manufacturing jobs for the United States. And you probably know what it is by now, NAFTA. So, and again, Obama's doing the same thing. He's trying to push for TPP, which Republicans are for and Democrats aren't, majorly. But really, it's actually a win-win for the American people, because yes, I don't like Trump. I don't like Clinton either. But Trump was against the TPP, and now Obama claimed that it's officially dead, most likely dead. So hopefully it's still dead. So let's look at this. Moderate Representative Charlie Dent, representative of Pennsylvania, said there is a real opportunity for the Trump administration to bring parties together on infrastructure. So when it's a Democrat trying to bring the Republican Democratic Party together, it's being partisan. But when it's Trump in the presidency, it's not partisan. Okay, then it says Pete King, representative from New York, said he also supports a plan to ramp up infrastructure spending, but will wait to see how details develop around financing and priorities.